Hello, family and friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna, and thanks for being here today on this wonderful Wednesday. Today is September 17th. All right, my friends, I hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. And if not, I sure hope it gets better, my friends. Well, let's say a really quick prayer and we'll talk about what we're going to learn today. Lord, thank you for every single soul who can hear my voice. Please give us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to gain some insight from your text, the Holy Bible. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, friends. Well, today, according to our chronological Bible reading, we are reading Nehemiah 3 through 6 and partly just 3 verses in 7. So Nehemiah 3 through 6 and then chapter 7, 1 through 3. Here's a little preview of what we're going to read today. Here's some look fors. Nehemiah chapter 3 is entitled Rebuilding the Wall. So Nehemiah has gotten busy, and it's a detailed account of the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls and the organizational structure that Nehemiah put in place, which demonstrates his leadership. He divided everyone up by their clans, gave them specific jobs and specific gates to work on. And in chapter 4, we saw in opposition to this work, of course, there's always enemies whenever you're trying to do something great, right? Enemies, Sanballat and Tobiah, they mocked the Jews, threatened them, and tried to delay and stop the work on the wall. But Nehemiah organizes a defense strategy where they can work and be armed. So like he got his army, he's arming the workers so that they can protect themselves if they need to. But the work resumed day and night, and it led to the wall being finished in rapid time. Nehemiah chapter 5, Nehemiah stops the oppression of the poor. And here Nehemiah's generosity is demonstrated. So there's a drought or a famine in the land. And so the people are oppressed by the officials and the nobles who have taxed them. So they have to put liens on their properties, and their daughters are being, taken as slaves, and a lot going on. But Nehemiah put a stop to that. And then chapter 6 was a conspiracy against Nehemiah. So of course, whenever you're trying to do something great, not everybody's going to celebrate you. And that's what we see. The same people, Sanballat and Tobiah is trying to have a conspiracy. So the first thing they tried was to lure him away from the wall so that they can imprison him. And when that didn't work, they sent letters to the king trying to blackmail Nehemiah, telling the king that he's going to rebuild this wall and then take over as king because he wants to take the king's place. But remember, Nehemiah was a cupbearer for the king, and he's a trusted person. So the king didn't believe that at all. And then lastly, they hired a false prophet to prophesy and give Nehemiah some bad information in hopes to trap him. But Nehemiah discerned that prophecy was not of God. And so 3 attempts and none of them worked. And the wall was finished in a record 52 days. Wow. As a result of Nehemiah's organizational and leadership skills. And then lastly, in the chapter 7 reading, we only read the first 3 verses. Nehemiah turns over the charge to his brother Hanani, and the wall was finished. So yeah, good stuff happened, but not without problems, of course, which sounds like life, right? Life can be really good, but it's not without problems. All right, my friends. Well, before I let you go, I have 3 birthday shout outs. My cousin Damon, his son Jaleel, him and his wife LaShawn's son Jaleel. Happy birthday, Jaleel. He would be my cousin. And then a happy heavenly birthday, my dear sister Angel. Her grandfather would have turned 102 years old, and I believe it was yesterday. So a belated heavenly birthday to my dear sister Angel and her grandfather. And then lastly, a friend of mine in my dance community here in Atlanta, Teresa. She has a birthday. Happy birthday, Teresa. Enjoy Jamaica. It sure looks like you're going to. All right, be safe, safe travels. All right, my friends, well, that's all I have for today. Go and have a great rest of your Wednesday, a wonderful Wednesday, that is. And if the Lord allows, come back tomorrow so we can read again. Enjoy the video today. It's not that long, so I hope you enjoy it. All right, take care. Bye. Nehemiah chapter 3, rebuilding the wall. Then Eliashib the high priest rose up with his brothers the priests, and they built the sheep gate. They consecrated it and set its doors. They consecrated it as far as the Tower of the 100, as far as the Tower of Hananel. And next to him the men of Jericho built. And next to them Zachor the son of Imri built. The sons of Hassanah built the fish gate. They laid its beams and set its doors, its bolts and its bars. And next to them Meremoth the son of Uriah, son of Hakaz, repaired. And next to them Meshullam the son of Berechiah, son of Meshzabel, repaired. And next to them Zadok the son of Baanah, repaired. And next to them the Tekoites repaired, but their nobles would not stoop to serve their lord. Jeodiah the son of Pashiah and Meshullam the son of Besodiah repaired the gate of Yeshanah. They laid its beams and set its doors, its bolts and its bars. And next to them repaired Melathi the Gibeonite and Jadon the Meronite, the men of Gibeon and of Mizpah, the seat of the governor of the province beyond the river. Next to them Uziel the son of Harhaiah, goldsmiths, repaired. Next to him Hananiah, one of the perfumers, repaired, and they restored Jerusalem as far as the broad wall. Next to them Rephaiah the son of Hur, ruler of half the district of Jerusalem, repaired. Next to them Jedediah the son of Harhumpah repaired opposite his house. And next to him Hattush the son of Hashbaniah repaired. Malachai the son of Harim and Hasabub the son of Path Moab repaired another section of the Tower of the Ovens. Next to him Shallum the son of Halohesh, ruler of half the district of Jerusalem, repaired, he and his daughters. Hanun and the inhabitants of Zanoah repaired the valley gate. They rebuilt it and set its doors, its bolts, and its bars, and repaired 1,000 cubits of the wall as far as the dung gate. Malachai, the son of Rechab, ruler of the district of Beth Hakerem, repaired the dung gate. He rebuilt it and set its doors, its bolts, and its bars. And Shallum, the son of Kohathith, ruler of the district of Mizpah, repaired the fountain gate. He rebuilt it and covered it and set its doors, its bolts, and its bars. And he built the wall of the pool of Shelah of the king's garden as far as the stairs that go down from the city of David. After him, Nehemiah, the son of Azbuk, ruler of half the district of Beth Zur, repaired to a point opposite the tombs of David, as far as the artificial pool, and as far as the house of the mighty men. After him, the Levites repaired, Rehum, the son of Bani. Next to him, Hashabiah, ruler of half the district of Keilah, repaired for his district. After him, their brothers repaired, Bavi, the son of Henadad, ruler of half the district of Keilah. Next to him, Ezer, the son of Jeshua, ruler of Mizpah, repaired another section opposite the ascent to the armory at the buttress. After him, Baruch, the son of Zabai, repaired another section from the buttress to the door of the house of Elishib, the high priest. After him, Meremoth, the son of Uriah, son of Hakkoz, repaired another section from the door of the house of Elishib to the end of the house of Elishib. After him, the priests, the men of the surrounding area, repaired. After them, Midjerman and Hassahub repaired opposite their house. After them, Azariah, the son of Maaseiah, son of Ananiah, repaired beside his own house. After him, Binu, the son of Henadad, repaired another section from the house of Azariah to the buttress and to the corner. Palau, the son of Uzai, repaired opposite the buttress and the tower projecting from the upper house of the king at the court of the guard. After him, Pedaiah, the son of Parosh, and the temple servants living on Ophel repaired to a point opposite the west gate on the east and the projecting tower. After him, the Tekoites repaired another section opposite the great projecting tower as far as the wall of Ophel. Above the horse gate, the priests repaired, each one opposite his own house. After them, Zadok, the son of Immer, repaired opposite his own house. After him, Shemaiah, the son of Shechaniah, the keeper of the east gate, repaired. After him, Hananiah, the son of Shelemiah, and Hanan, the sixth son of Zalaphah, repaired another section. After him, Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, repaired opposite his chamber. After him, Malachjai, one of the goldsmiths, repaired as far as the house of the temple servants and of the merchants opposite the mustard gate and to the upper chamber of the corner. And between the upper chamber of the corner and the sheep gate, the goldsmiths and the merchants repaired. Nehemiah chapter 4. Opposition to the work. Now when Sanballat heard that we were building the wall, he was angry and greatly enraged, and he jeered at the Jews. And he said in the presence of his brothers and of the army of Samaria, "What are these feeble Jews doing? Will they restore it for themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they finish up in a day? Will they revive the stones out of the heap of rubbish and burn ones at that?" Tobiah the Ammonite was beside him, and he said, "Yes, what are they building? If a fox goes up on it, he will break down their stone wall. Hear, O our God, for we are despised. Turn back their taunt on their own heads and give them up to be plundered in a land where they are captives. Do not cover their guilt, and let not their sin be blotted out from your sight, for they have provoked you to anger in the presence of the builders." So we built the wall, and all the wall was joined together to half its height, for the people had a mind to work. But when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabs and the Ammonites and the Ashdodites heard that the repairing of the walls of Jerusalem was going forward and that the breaches were beginning to be closed, they were very angry. And they all plotted together to come and fight against Jerusalem and to cause confusion in it. And we prayed to our God and set a guard as a protection against them day and night. In Judah it was said, "The strength of those who bear the burdens is failing. There is too much rubble. By ourselves we will not be able to rebuild the wall." And our enemies said, "They will not know or see till we come among them and kill them and stop the work." At that time, the Jews who lived near them came from all directions and said to us 10 times, "You must return to us." So in the lowest part of the space behind the wall, in open places, I stationed the people by their clans with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and arose and said to the nobles and to the officials and to the rest of the people, "Do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, who is great and awesome, and fight for your brothers, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your homes." The work resumes. When our enemies heard that it was known to us and that God had frustrated their plan, we all returned to the wall, each to his work. From that day on, half of my servants worked on construction, and half held the spears, shields, bows, and coats of mail. And the leaders stood behind the whole house of Judah, who were building on the wall. Those who carried burdens were loaded in such a way that each labored on the work with one hand and held his weapon with the other. And each of the builders had his sword strapped at his side while he built. The man who sounded the trumpet was beside me, and I said to the nobles and to the officials and to the rest of the people, "The work is great and widely spread, and we are separated on the wall, far from one another. In the place where you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there. Our God will fight for us." So we labored at the work, and half of them held the spears from the break of dawn until the stars came out. I also said to the people at that time, "Let every man and his servant pass the night within Jerusalem, that they may be a guard for us by night and may labor by day." So neither I nor my brothers nor my servants nor the men of the guard who followed me, none of us took off our clothes. Each kept his weapon at his right hand. Nehemiah chapter 5. Nehemiah stops oppression of the poor. Now there arose a great outcry of the people and of their wives against their Jewish brothers. For there were those who said, "With our sons and our daughters we are many. So let us get grain that we may eat and keep alive." There were also those who said, "We are mortgaging our fields, our vineyards, and our houses to get grain because of the famine." And there were those who said, "We have borrowed money for the king's tax on our fields and our vineyards. Now our flesh is as the flesh of our brothers, our children are as their children, yet we are forcing our sons and our daughters to be slaves, and some of our daughters have already been enslaved, but it is not in our power to help it, for other men have our fields and our vineyards." I was very angry when I heard their outcry and these words. I took counsel with myself, and I brought charges against the nobles and the officials. I said to them, "You are extracting interest, each from his brother." And I held a great assembly against them and said to them, "We, as far as we are able, have brought back our Jewish brothers who have been sold to the nations, but you even sell your brothers that they may be sold to us." They were silent and could not find a word to say. So I said, "The thing that you are doing is not good. Ought you not to walk in the fear of our God to prevent the taunts of the nations, our enemies? Moreover, I and my brothers and my servants are lending them money and grain. Let us abandon this extracting of interest. Return to them this very day their fields, their vineyards, their olive orchards, and their houses, and the percentage of money, grain, wine, and oil that you have been extracting from them." Then they said, "We will restore these and require nothing from them. We will do as you say." And I called the priest and made them swear to do as they had promised. I also shook out the fold of my garment and said, "So may God shake out every man from his house and from his labor who does not keep this promise. So may he be shaken out and emptied." And all the assembly said, "Amen," and praised the Lord. And the people did as they had promised. Nehemiah's generosity. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year to the 32nd year of Artaxerxes the king, 12 years, neither I nor my brothers ate the food allowance of the governor. The former governors who were before me laid heavy burdens on the people and took from them for their daily ration 40 shekels of silver. Even their servants lorded it over the people. But I did not do so because of the fear of God. I also persevered in the work on this wall, and we acquired no land, and all my servants were gathered there for the work. Moreover, there were at my table 150 men, Jews and officials, besides those who came to us from the nations that were around us. Now what was prepared at my expense for each day was 1 ox and 6 choice sheep and birds, and every 10 days all kinds of wine in abundance. Yet for all this I did not demand the food allowance of the governor, because the service was too heavy on this people. Remember for my good, O my God, all that I have done for this people. Nehemiah chapter 6. Conspiracy against Nehemiah. Now when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem the Arab and the rest of our enemies heard that I had built the wall and that there was no breach left in it, although up to that time I had not set up the doors in the gates, Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, Come and let us meet together at Hakkephirim in the plain of Ono. But they intended to do me harm, and I sent messengers to them, saying, I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and come down to you? And they sent to me 4 times in this way, and I answered them in the same manner. In the same way, Sanballat for the 5th time sent his servant to me with an open letter in his hand. In it was written, It is reported among the nations, and Geshem also says it, that you and the Jews intend to rebel. That is why you are building the wall. And according to these reports, you wish to become their king. And you have also set up prophets to proclaim concerning you in Jerusalem, There is a king in Judah, and now the king will hear of these reports. So now come and let us take counsel together. Then I sent to him, saying, No such things as you say have been done, for you are inventing them out of your own mind. For they all wanted to frighten us, thinking, Their hands will drop from the work, and it will not be done. But now, O God, strengthen my hands. Now when I went into the house of Shemaiah, the son of Deliah, son of Methabel, who was confined to his home, he said, Let us meet together in the house of God within the temple. Let us close the doors of the temple, for they are coming to kill you. They are coming to kill you by night. But I said, Should such a man as I run away? And what man such as I could go into the temple and live? I will not go in. And I understood and saw that God had not sent him, but he had pronounced the prophecy against me, because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. For this purpose he was hired, that I should be afraid and act in this way and sin, and so they could give me a bad name in order to taunt me. Remember Tobiah and Sanballat, O my God, according to these things that they did, and also the prophetess Noadiah and the rest of the prophets who wanted to make me afraid. The wall is finished. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of the month, Elul of 52 days. And when all our enemies heard of it, all the nations around us were afraid and fell greatly in their own esteem, for they perceived that this work had been accomplished with the help of our God. Moreover, in those days the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and Tobiah's letters came to them. For many in Judah were bound by oath to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah, the son of Arah, and his son Jehonan had taken the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah, as his wife. Also they spoke of his good deeds in my presence and reported my words to him. And Tobiah sent letters to make me afraid. Nehemiah chapter 7 verses 1 through 3. Now when the wall had been built And I had set up the doors, and the gatekeepers, the singers, and the Levites had been appointed. I gave my brother Hanani and Hananiah, the governor of the castle, charge over Jerusalem, for he was a more faithful and God-fearing man than many. And I said to them, let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun is hot. And while they are still standing guard, let them shut and bar the doors. Appoint guards from among the inhabitants of Jerusalem, some at their guard post, and some in front of their own homes.